We are all hoping for the best here in terms of the distribution of this vaccine as rapidly as possible. I guess if you had to, though, list things that concern you in terms of at least things that could make that distribution less than ideal, what would they be?
Well, there are a lot of logistics in getting this thing distributed with the cold chain. I think everybody's familiar with the very low temperatures that are needed to be sustained as the vaccine does get distributed. So that last mile of, I think the trucks are on the way, the planes have flown. It's that last mile of getting into the arms of people that really need the vaccine that can be concerning. And also keeping track of all the supply with a 2-dose regimen is quite a challenge.
There is also, we continue to hear, a portion of the population that perhaps will be resistant. Do you think that's overblown, or is it a real concern?
I think it's a very real concern. And just to correct one thing, I'm retired from Duke University, and I work now at Alphabet between Google Health and one of its other subsidiaries, Verily Life Sciences. Karen DeSalvo, who's leading the effort, has a major job to do to help get the message out, because so many people use search or YouTube to get their information. So correcting misinformation and having authoritative information at the top is critical, but also having people who relate to those out there who may be skeptical is going to be critical to get the message across.
So speaking of the message, some viewers are writing in, and their basic question is, how do I know when it's time for me to even start inquiring with my doctor or with my grocer about going in? Do you think that's going to be delivered in stages from public health authorities? How confusing will that be?
Well, I think it's confusing if you step back and look at it right now, but because there's an orderly sequence that's planned, I do think the communication will increasingly target the people that need to be at the front. What I would advise is that everyone right now should get their medical record straight and make sure their medical history is well understood, because priority is somewhat dependent on whether you have other illnesses. It's also really essential in this initial rollout with healthcare workers, not just doctors, but nurses, respiratory therapists, other healthcare workers. They are the key intermediaries. The majority of people say they're going to ask their clinician, the person that they interact with about their health, for that advice. It's going to be the critical link.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.